Good morning, everyone. I'm Diana, and I'm the Marketing Communications Manager here at Norsat. Thank you so much for joining us this morning in our monthly webinar. Today's webinar topic is on Norsat's ATOMControl software, which gives you the ability to monitor and control Norsat's ATOM series of BUCs and SSPAs. So the webinar will feature a presentation first and then a live demonstration of the software after. I'm delighted to introduce you to our presenters today, Rodrigo Aguilar and Stephen Liu. Rodrigo and Stephen are our customer service engineers here at Norsat. They are responsible for providing support and training to customers and providing consultation to any new project development. They both hold diplomas in electrical engineering. So we'll have a Q&A session at the very end of the webinar, but please feel free to submit your questions during the presentation, and we'll try to address them throughout. And in order to submit your questions, there's a question box to your at the bottom of your control panel, so you can just type in your questions, and we'll get them on our end. So a few housekeeping items before we begin. Our next webinar is on December 8th and will feature a presentation and live demonstration of the Norsat 5G LNB, the 3200 SPPF. So you'll learn how the LNB is different from the other Norsat LNB in mitigating the degradation caused by 5G interference. Please check our webinar calendar on our website to see the roster of all the webinars that we have coming up. And you can also subscribe to our newsletter to get our monthly updates and stay up to date with all our latest news and product launch announcements. We also welcome your feedback on how to improve our webinars. So please complete a short survey that will be sent out to you at the very end. Now, without further ado, I'm going to pass things on to Rodrigo.
Thank you, Diana. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the ATOMControl webinar. We're pleased to present this material for you, and I would like to show first the what's going to be the agenda for today. Today we're going to talk about what is ATOMControl, what are the features that we have on our software, and also we would like to talk about how to get the ATOMControl program. Also, we'll be talking about the different types of connectivity that we have on our ATOM devices and how to connect to our ATOMControl software to them. As well, we'll be talking about another method, that it's the web interface, that some of our products have this feature, and we're going to mention which ones they use this type of functionality. Also, there's the SNMP feature and how to use ATOMControl to configure the SNMP functionality in ATOM devices. Also, some of them can be field upgradable, and we're going to go through a process of how to upgrade the firmware on an ATOM device. And we also are going to be doing a live demonstration on how to on browsing all of the features on the software, and also the web interface and SNMP connection. Okay, let's get started. So what is ATOMControl? ATOMControl is a graphical interface that is used to obtain all the information and control the features on Norsat ATOM products. This provides real-time updates on all the functionality, parameters, and readings that the ATOM devices has at any given moment. Also, it offers versatile connectivity to the ATOM devices. They can be used as a serial communication, either RS-232 or 485. And as well, we have an Ethernet connectivity. This allows some flexibility. Normally, it's 2 out of the 3 I have just mentioned, and you can specify when you get the product which type of connectivity you will require. Also, through the ATOMControl software, there's a multiple functionality on the mute logic that the ATOM products have. Depending on where they're integrated, they require either hardware mute, software mute, or any other type of control through commands that will require muting. This is also, if they're integrated in redundant switches, they will require this to understand how when the Atom product needs to be muted. Also, Atom control is very good, displaying which kind of faults does the Atom product has. This is very good for troubleshooting in case there's a problem on the transmission. Atom control can help you out determining which kind of faults and try to isolate where the problem might be and try to resolve it. Also, the Atom products, they have an internal attenuator up to 32 dB, and this is to provide a more dynamic range depending on the input, just to avoid having compression in the amplifier, or the dynamic range is too low, so it doesn't reach maximum power. This internal attenuator can be set and changed through Atom control. Also, Atom control uses a command interface that is described in the user manual, how these commands work. And if you're required to send a specific command that is described in the user manual, you can use this Atom control in a specific tab to send very specific commands. And last but not least, Atom control is compatible with all Norsat Atom devices. This allows the flexibility to use only one piece of software without being very specific to different models that we normally have. So that's a good advantage. If you have different models, you don't have to have a specific piece of software for each one. One Atom control version is compatible with all of the Norsat products. How to obtain Atom control? Atom control can be downloaded from our website, and if you go on our product line, if you go to Atom BUCs, you can download. If you scroll down, it's gonna describe the features and all the models and all the features for Atom products. A little bit lower, you can find downloadable files. One of them is Atom control, and normally we publish the latest version that is available, that is compatible with the newest products that we release, as well as user manuals and other type of technical documentation that customers might require or they will need in order to do the integration. Diagrams and other type of technical documentation, you can find them here. About the connectivity on Atom devices, we normally offer an MNC connection that is because the Atom devices are meant to be outdoors. All Atom devices will come with an environmentally sealed connector, and it's up to the customer if they have to build their own cable. That's for DC and also for the monitor and control, which is going to be used for Atom control to connect to the device. We as well can provide already a made cable, 10 meters, as an accessory for the Atom products. This one is going to be specifically, depending on the model, it's going to be probably a different one depending on the options that you have. As we have mentioned, we have 3 types of connectivity. 2 serial connections, which is RS-232 and 485. And nowadays, the computers don't come with this kind of ports. So we normally recommend to have a USB adapter as an interface for this type of connectivity. As well, we have Ethernet connectivity, which it's the most common nowadays. And all you have to do is set your IP configuration in the machine or the network that it's going to be connected with the default IP address. This actually can be changed as well. Once you get the first time connection, you can change the IP settings through the ATOMControl. Also, we have a web interface. This is very similar to the actual application that it's installed in the computer. But the advantage is that all you have to have is a web browser. The layout and the functionality is technically the same. You have the same features with the web interface as well as the program that you can download and install in a computer. The only requirements that the web interface should have is on the web browser. We normally recommend to have at least Chrome version 80, Firefox version 74, or Microsoft Edge. Those are the ones who we recommend to use to have all the functionality on the web browser interface. All you have to do is type the IP address. Either is the default one that comes in the user manual, or you can use the, if you have changed the IP address, you can use this new IP address and use a web browser to connect to it. SNMP is also supported in some Atom devices, and we only support SNMP version 1. This functionality is only available on our Atom GAN box. I'm not going to go too much in detail on what is the difference between a GAN BUC and a GAS BUC. We have documentation, articles, and a webinar regarding this topic. If you're interested, feel free to go to our website and explore a little bit more on this topic. Only in our Atom GAN products, we have the NSNMP functionality. And in order to do the configuration for the SNMP, we use ATOMControl to set those parameters at the beginning. Any changes, you can use ATOMControl to make those changes as well. Also, in our GAN BUC line, we have a field firmware upgrade that can be done. The other legacy product that we have, it requires a firmware, which is unlikely, but we have the option, but it has to be sent back to factory to get the upgrade. Now our new products offer that flexibility in case there's a firmware that can be applied. And this feature is very, very easy to upgrade in the field. All you have to do is obtain the file from our technical support, use ATOMControl on a specific tab, and just wait until it uploads and reboot the unit. We're gonna do a live demonstration about this in a moment. And last but not least, we're gonna do a live demonstration how to use ATOMControl, how to install it, and also how to set the communication tabs, and which ones to select, and how to initialize the communication. Also, we're going to explore all the tabs and all the functionality as we have mentioned. What are the types of alarms that you can find and you can explore, and use how to make the changes on the mute logic and sequence, and also the attenuation, and how to make the changes through ATOMControl. Also, we're going to do custom commands as per described in the manual. How to do these, how to use this functionality on one or multiple commands, as well as a live demonstration on the firmware upgrade and the SNMP configuration. So for the live demonstration, I'm gonna have my coworker Stephen Liu to do that. Steve?
Thank you, Rodrigo. Hello, everyone. It's great to have this chance to demonstrate Norsat ATOMControl here. Let me share my screen. Yes. Once the ATOMControl is downloaded from Norsat website, you can save it on your computer, and you can just run it without any installation. On your first use, you will see this end user license agreement, and you need to accept it. So ATOMControl will start. Okay, so when you see this ATOMControl, you can see there are 3 sections on this application. The first one is on the top, configuration section. This is for the customer to select a different port you want to connect. And the second one is the control section. So you will show ATOMControl system information, port status, internal temperature, and output power. The next one will be the log output. It will show the response from the device. Okay. When you use COM port, most of the case on this, because now the device computer didn't provide serial port support, so most of the case you need to use adapter. So remember to select the right port number so you can get the connectivity of the serial port. For our demonstration, we will use IP address. We will enter the default IP address here, 192.168.77.30. Okay. And then after you enter the IP address of the device, click initialize. Okay. So you will see all the information show on ATOMControl. We take a look at the control section. On the left side, you will see the system information of the device. Here's the serial number, firmware version, hardware version, and product type. On the center, you will see on the top, it will be the fault indication. So this is the summary of the fault status. On the right is a fault indicator. So you will see if there is a fault for different reason, then you will see the indicator here. We have over temperature fault indicator, PLL fault indicator, power fault indicator, and over input voltage fault indicator. Now it's all green, so that means that everything works fine. But if there is any one LED turn to red, that means that there is something wrong with this function. Okay, so now we don't have any fault here. And we also can see there is a temperature here. It just shows the internal temperature of the device. Now it's 44 degrees Celsius. Forward power, that's the RF forward power. This is the output power of the device. Now it's the -40 is the minimum value here. So there is no output power right now. The reverse power is only for, because it's not implemented yet. So it will be for the future development. On mute time, it will show how long this device is working. So now it's 45 minutes. We have another temperature reading on the component inside the BUC. The first one, PM1, is a power module 1. So now the temperature is 44 degrees. And another device called the driver. So now it's 47 degrees. On the bottom log output section, you can see the response from the device. Okay, so we will continue to next step. Next step will be device configuration. This function is for the function that if the ATOM BUC or ATOM device with a multi-frequency band, so this tab will enable for the customer to select a different frequency range. Because for our demonstration, this is a single band, so it will gray out. No function for this one. Next step will be mute control. For the mute logic, please refer to ATOM user manual. And the customer can use this interface to change the status for different parameters in the mute logic. So you can see we have a mute bias, a mute invert, and the software based muting, mute on board. So the customer can use toggle to change the status of each parameter. Once you toggle, it will change from 0 to 1. And you also see the response from the BUC about the mute setting. And you also can toggle back to 0. Just like you also can disable the mute on fault. So you can toggle to let it enable. So that means that any fault will not show on the indicator. And you also can disable. We also have a software-based muting. Once you toggle it, so that means that this BUC is muted. Once it is muted, you will see the unmute time will reset to 0 because now it's muted. And you can toggle it, so you can unmute the BUC. So the unmute time will continue to count. Okay, so you also can see all the response. Once you enter one command, you can see the response from the device. Next step is the RF control section. This section is to offer the customer to select different attenuator. So we offer 32 dB for the customer to select. You can select just like, for example, it's 3 dB and click set. So you will set the internal attenuator to 3 dB. And you also can change it back to original setting. Next tab is a custom command. So we can enter the command here to get a response from the device. like this command get ident. So this is the get system information from the device. Okay, you can see the response from the device. You can see, okay, part number, the software number, and serial number. You also can enter on this section is a multiple command, and the multiple command will be executed, will be run on this one. I enter get ident and get status. And now you need to click execute a command here. Okay. So you will see on this response, the device responds to command. And get status, you will get the current status of the bug of the device. Next one will be a firmware upgrade. Now it's only supported for game bug. You need to get the new firmware from Norsat. Once you get the new firmware from the Norsat, you can save it on your computer and click browse. Okay. I have this firmware here, and you need to select and open. Once it's open, the file section will show the directory and file name. And you also can see the selected file here. And all you need to do is just click Start Update. So there will be a progress bar working here. So you can see the progress of the upgrade. Once the upgrade is finished, the system will be restart and connected back to ATOMControl by itself. Okay, so I think this is a demonstration for ATOMControl. Once you want, if you want to finish the ATOMControl, you need to click the initialize and close it. Next, we will show the web interface. On our demonstration, we use a Firefox. On the IP address, you need to enter the default IP address, 192.168.77.30. This is our default IP address. You also can see this is very similar to ATOMControl. So this provides a very similar function. You can see on the device info, you can see the system information from the device and the status. You can see the system temperature and fault indicator and different fault indicator here and the firmware version. Here you can also read the temperature on different components, power module 1 and driver. Next will be the mute function. It's very similar to ATOMControl. And RF alternator for the customer to select the alternation. And custom command, you can enter the command here and click execute command here. And you can see the response on the log output section. And the last tab is show all. Show all, you will show everything in one page. So it's more easier for the customer to see everything in one page. Okay, so this is the ATOMControl Web Interface. Next, we will show SNP function. For this demonstration, we use a third-party application, SNMPB. The customer need to get the MIB file from Norsat. So you need to refer to Atom device user interface for the setup procedure. Okay. For this demonstration, it will show you all the parameters for the customer to use SNMP protocol to get the status from the device. And you also can send the command to change the status of the device. Yeah, I think that's all the demonstration for ATOMControl. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. So we'll open the floor up for questions. Okay, so we have a few questions coming in. So the first one is, what BUCs support Ethernet option and web interface?
Okay, thank you, Dan. Our Atom box, as I mentioned, we have two different versions: gas versus and gas and GAN products. All our GAN products support Ethernet connectivity. On the gas products, we only offer Ethernet option on high power, which is the 80 and 100 watts.
Second question is, for GAN BUCs with Ethernet option, can you change the default IP address of the web interface?
Yes, the IP address can be changed through ATOMControl and the web interface. It's very simple. I think Stephen already demonstrated, but certainly is something that it can be done. Part of the integration with the product that needs to be done on a network or an MNC platform. Certainly, that's something that can be changed and can help the customers to integrate on their existing networks.
Okay, the next question is, to connect to MNC port of the BUC, what cable connector do I need, and is it provided with the BUC? Does Norsat offer a pre-made MNC cable?
Yes, every Atom product comes with all the connectors because the Atom BUC is meant to be outdoors, and the connectors are weatherproof, and there's specifications how to make the cable. We normally provide the connectors because we don't know which cable length the end customer will use, but we provide those connectors, and we provide the pinout on the user manuals how to build the cable that is suitable for their installation. But also, we offer that as an accessory. We have, I think, a 10-meter option on the MSC that if it's a serial communication, that it's an RS-232 or 485 full wire. We also can provide the USB adapter to RS-485 as part of the bundle for the MNC cable for Atoms.
Okay, thank you, Rod. And the next question is, does ATOMControl keep a log of faults? For example, if it shuts down due to high temperature, then cools down and it's operated again, will the BUC keep a log of the temperature and times that it shut down due to temperature fault?
No, it doesn't actually have any log for the moment. We are exploring to have that implemented in the next few releases on both either the internal firmware on the Atom products as well as the ATOMControl if it's connected through it and keeps the log of all the faults. But no, not for the time being.
The next question is, how often is the temperature reading refreshed on ATOMControl? Is there a command we can send to read the same thing?
Well, the temperature is reported every few times a second. You can still use through the command line or ATOMControl there's a command. Which one is it? Get status. Sorry. Slip on top of my head. Get status can help you to get all that, and through ATOMControl it refreshes every few seconds. But if you're using an external monitor and control protocol or driver, it can be a few times per second.
Okay, the last question we have here is, are there any functions available from within ATOMControl that cannot also be done via command sent to the BUC?
No, actually, ATOMControl is just a user interface, a graphical user interface that is going to display all the functionality that is done through the command line. There's nothing different. Part of that is because we want all the functionality that it can be done through an external driver to do integration. It's pretty much it's a graphical interface, or it can be done through a different driver external if it's the Atom is controlled or monitored through a different platform externally.
Great. I don't see any more questions coming in. So before I end this, I just want to thank everyone for attending, and thank you, Rod and Stephen, for providing this presentation and live demo. Please fill out that short survey that will be deployed out to you at the end of this webinar. We'll love your feedback. Let us know what topics you would like us to cover in future webinars. And if you're not already subscribed to our monthly newsletter, please do so you can stay up to date with everything that we have in store. And yeah, so with that, thank you everyone for attending this morning, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, everyone.